Hello, and a wonderful good evening, everybody, or a good day, whatever it might be at your place. I am happy you joined on in here. So, it's a new system. Intergalactic Business is the name of this episode today. That's because right now I'm no longer in my home system. We're at 67 per se, and well, we came from here, and that's now the system that we're going to procure because it's a damn good place to be. So I did crash land on Persei 1, which is a planet which hosts a sulfuric acid ocean system, so we don't need to worry about sulfuric acid ever again, because we're just going to pump it out of the oceans instead of nasty production recipes that are necessary. So really good stuff. Hey Ash, welcome. Happy to see you, man. So we're going to have a lot of titanium, iron, and copper on this planet, but that's not all that we got here. So on Persei 2, what do we have here? Nothing special. Hurricane Stone Forest. I want to see that up close. But material-wise, well, it does have a decent amount of everything except iron and coal. Alright. Very unspectacular planet altogether. The real interesting one here is Parsec 3, because it comes with crude oil, pure granite crystals, and spiniform stalagmite crystals. Lots of yummy rare materials. So I came for the sulfuric acid and this one, and let's see. Perfect. This planet here has a solar energy ratio of 127%, so I'm going to slam down all the solar panels I got. And this planet here has a wind energy ratio of 110%, so I'm going to work with the 200 wind turbines that I got on the other planet. Wonderful. Just what I needed. That's, we're off for a good start, guys. And this is going to be the setup for, well, how to put it, the intergalactic, the first intergalactic logistics here in this session. Yeah, that's it. So next up, where the hell is the equator on this molten ball? Alright, so thinking now and on the right direction. So, well, here, this bold line. This must be it. Yep, middle point, perfect. So, good old chilled session of equator belting. It's one of my favorite things to do. And, well, I got 2 stacks of deuterium fuel rods in my pocket. Alright, I will use what I have in my tank right now, and those 2 stacks that I have on me should be enough for the flight back home. Brilliant. Okay, let's do a solar belt here to make sure that there's always sun on roughly 50% of these buddies here. Always a nice thing to have. And that should be sufficient for our projects on this planet. So let's see. I have to find some site to get sulfuric acid from, because so far I haven't seen anything. But well, we'll see about that. So, I have made up my plans in between the last episode and this one, so I have a pretty clear path in my mind towards the actual first Dyson sphere of mine. So, we're going to use this system here as our material pit, where we're going to gather all the metals and what we need. And our home system, Murga, will be also the system where I'm going to build my first Dyson sphere at. There are lots of other stars that would have more luminosity and therefore yield more power out of the end result of the Dyson sphere. But since this is going to be my own first time with the Dyson sphere, I don't want to go too crazy about the perfect high amount of luminosity there. This is basically our first case study. I mean, I could easily just go somewhere else then and build another one. Hey, Greg, welcome. I do continue the Dondor series, of course. I actually did stream a episode last Wednesday, so don't you worry. I just took a break, pretty lengthy one, about a month, because you know, I was featuring so much Songs of Six that from time to time I need a timeout for the sake of my sanity. But regular episodes will come out regularly on Wednesday. Sometimes a special episode in between, but that's the plan. So I'm taking bribes for more episodes, no problem. But until then, that's the schedule. And can't wait for Songs of Six to get a new update. But also can't wait to finally fiddle around with military for real for the first time. Already very excited about that, and we're only 1 or 2 episodes away from that. Okay, so I still have 83 solar panels in my pocket. I'm going to leave them there. There's not worried about having too many of these. And here, that's the juice. Sulfuric acid. Yum yum. You know, it's a very important industrial good, and therefore it's going to be very important for us. So let's check out where we have seas. So here's one puddle. Here's another puddle where I feel like this would be very much more appealing than the one I'm standing right next to, because there's a lot of mineral deposits around it. And let's see, there's lots of really small puddles left and right. Here, whoa, look at that. Here we can produce a lot of sulfuric acid. So altogether, I think this planet will be seeing me a couple of times here in the future. For right now, I'm going to set up my first outpost here. Yeah. And then there's a high chance of continuing some other day over at the other seas. Once we need more sulfuric acid, that is. But for starters, let's just see what we can bring up here. So, first things first, let's set up our logistics. I want to have a logistics station. Well, let's see. Is it even feasible to have only one of these towers here? I don't think so, to be honest. I think we'll have too many goods to transport away. So I'm going to slap down the first tower here. Or do I? Well... well, no. Let's hop on over here. Yeah. So there we go. And for all of those who didn't catch this as a live stream, in the description box below, there is a link to the playlist. There is also a link to my Discord, to my Twitter, where I announce all the streams. You can just also subscribe and hit the bell to just stay informed. Well, that's the most obvious ways. I'd be also very happy if you'd be so kind to check out Patreon, PayPal, or buy me a coffee if that's more your cup of tea, and try and check out the ways to support me, because as a free content creator, I can really use all the help that I can get. Thanks for watching through this Admiral. Let's keep gaming. So I just realized a very terrible thing. I have a very limited amount of Tesla towers. I didn't really pack up everything before I went away, but of course I forgot something. Whatever, it's not that important. We're going to just mine out the materials necessary for that, so no biggie. It's very important that we have this station here remote supply. True. Wonderful. So let's check on out how many extractors we can bring up here. So I have 26 water pumps on me. And let's see how we can use them. Weren't you guys working for water pump, including sulfuric acid? Okay. So let's see how many we can slap on this puddle. That's the most important question here. So, I bet I'm able to improve my art of water pump stacking here still. And I wonder if we aren't able to set up a, you know, let's see. Can we put up a little island in here? To, yeah, we can. So, let's see. This little artificial thing, yeah. So we could also amplify that. Alright, so there's... Oh, well, I think there's enough of that stuff going around on this planet if we are even able to modify bigger deposits this way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slap down all except for 4 water pumps here. I do leave out 4 water pumps because I feel like I want to have a few of these guys still if I happen to need some for a project on the road. I realize I don't need this island right now. This was just a case study. So I have, well, I've just slapped down 22 of these things. So we're going to make the lazy man's approach. I love this. This is one of the simplest beltings that you can go for. So here we go. And, well, after that's done, I need to set up some mining ops and make sure that I help myself to some... Oh, that doesn't work. And I help myself to some iron and copper to make sure that I can manufacture some Tesla towers. Would suck to have no wiring available anymore. But I think we can avoid that. I mean, I did totally mean to set up a supply of what's it called, iron and copper for the home system, because especially iron I'm running out of very quickly back home. So this was a totally necessary evil, and as you see here, I'm just stringing things up brute force. The thing here is every one of these pumps is just producing 1 unit of sulfuric acid per second. So they can just be connected like that. Because we are able to transport 24 units of sulfuric acid per second here. Therefore, long story short, I could even run 2 more pumps, and this wouldn't, this still wouldn't overstrain this weirdness that I'm building here right now. It's a wonderful, simple thing. No splitters, no nothing. Just belts. Very, very easily connected to each other. If there is a mistake in my plan, I'll quickly find out. But I don't think so. This is only not feasible if you want to distribute things evenly or stuff. But if you just want to move stuff from A to B, somehow. Alright, here we go. So let's connect that up to this place. Come on. Alright. Can't do this. Here we go. No, Shishir, welcome. Jack, hi there. And Math Gamer. I agree. I'm so happy to see you folks here. So, well, tonight, I really don't know what to think about how I feel. It's an up and down situation, really. But, well, let's just say I see the light at the end of the tunnel here. Okay, so we're now exporting sulfuric acid as at a glorious rate. So let's see, what do we need? We need a minimum load of drones of 100%. No excuses, you know. There's really no way that any of these ships is allowed to move from one system to the other without filling its cargo capacity up to the max. So that's really, really important. Beyond that, let's see, warpers required. If the maximum transport distance is exceeded, logistics vessels won't depart until equipped with space warpers. Okay, so where can I put in the space warpers, good sir? So let's see. Here's the space warpers. Drag and drop. Put in only logistics vessel. Yeah, sure, but kind sir, how to feed these things with what they need. So let's see. It's one thing I never did, you know. So let's just set it up like that for now. We just connect belts, slap in a couple of warpers, and it's not work. So, well, the warpers do disappear in there. 10 warpers are inside. Well, so far so good. I really don't know if that's how it's supposed to be done, to be quite honest. If anybody knows if I'm doing it wrong, please let me know and correct me. But so far, I see the ammo loaded in, I see the cargo vessels there. Well, it's only 10 jumps, so we're not going to be able to transport too much away with this method. But, well, this is the newbie's place, so... How many slots do I have here? So we could bring up iron ingots, magnets, copper plates, and, well, something else. And then this station is full. Well, good enough, I'd say. Let's bring some... Start on out with iron and copper, so I'm able to build myself some extra Tesla towers. So, well... Yeah, this is definitely close enough to bring it in via belt. Whoa, that's a rich one. So, let's see. Okay, so that's 3 iron per second, that's 2.5, makes 5.5, makes 9.5, makes 4 more, it's 13.5. This doesn't really convince me to bring up the 30 items per second belt. Stick with the 12 per second, that's okay. Fine with that. So let's crack up these like that. want to try this for the first time without any splitters in between, because I keep using splitters in these scenarios, but I kept wondering if I wasn't able to simplify things up here a lot. Don't worry, man. I was feeling quite baked today as well. It's been a pretty rough day. I had the boy from 9:30 to 9:30. Yeah. My day basically ended with tucking him into bed, and he just didn't want to go to sleep. Yeah, whatever. It's been an okay day. Family day is never a bad thing, but nevertheless exhausting, you know. So here we have one iron deposit, and I'm really happy with my new smelter setup. I finally have a standardized setup for iron. It really took me ages to come up with a decent plan, but I finally have it, and I'm willing to share. So what we're going to bring up here is a quite simple thing. Where's there's it. So we're going this way. Every iron outpost now for me produces always magnets and iron simultaneously, and I always use 6 iron ingots or 6 ore for bad and 6 ore for bad, so I split the deposit 50-50. And this eases up all that nasty question of how many of what do I produce. And it also ends up with a very, very simple setup where you just slap up 6 smelters there and 9 smelters on the other side, and you're done. And then you have a pretty even distribution of magnets and ingots. That's pretty fair. Oh, I like the idea of a decent hive mind. So, yeah, hive mind. That brings me back to some other thing that I wanted to talk about. Stellaris. I want to play some Stellaris for you folks. And in the upcoming time, we're going to do more grand strategy things and stuff. All the things that I didn't do back then because I didn't have the audience. Because, you know, these grand strategy titles, they require some audience, and I've been a small channel most of my time. But that time is slowly over thanks to you guys, so cheers. Just wanted to let you know what's up my mind in terms of new projects. There's so many things that I mean to try out. But whoever's I have already made up my mind that I'll never be a Stellaris power gamer, you know. I find that very boring. I'm a role player at heart, and that's always going to be the signature of my gameplays. Always has been, always will be, and I think that's where we all will have the most fun out of what I do. And that's the most important thing. It took me a damn long time, though, to make up my mind what's going to be my signature move with those 4X games, you know? StarCraft, hell no. Yeah, well. Although, I tried to play StarCraft 2 the other night. Didn't work out for me. Those times are over, I don't know. Feels a little bit antiquated, although it felt like a solid story and all, but I don't know. Okay, so let's whip it up. We got iron, we got magnet. So, establish 5 interstellar logistics transportation lines between different planetary systems. Wonderful. So, well... We'll see once these guys set off with some iron stuff, or magnets or whatever, whether or not the warpers that I slapped in there will work. So, yay! Achievements! But I would dare say that this looks pretty okay. We'll see. So, we got one of the basics down. Let's bring up the next of the basics. So, I really want to try out once a system where I centralize all the ore processing. Right now, you see, I process all the ore on site, but I really feel like I want to try out a centralized smelting with proliferation and all. It sounds like a lot of fun too. Okay, so we need to slap out the stuff in this direction. So whatever the output might be, we're going to cap it at 12 again. So, well, no, I'll go out this way. So there's room for the stone and the titanium as well. So there it goes. We'll see. And then I'll be at least able to recraft those Tesla towers that I forgot to bring. Shame on me. Alright. So neither titanium nor silicon are in any real shortage. So we're good in that regard. So let's do this like that. And here we're just going to have 12 smelters in a row doing their thing. That stuff goes up this way. So this entire system has to be wrapped now. Of course, that's a lot of work, but I won't be overdoing it in this regard. For example, I wouldn't have even allocated the copper if it wouldn't have been for that oversight of me forgetting something. So. And now we got that. Too bad no Teslas fitting in between there. Okay, so we got ourselves the copper we need. Well, it's almost far enough to justify a planetary logistics station, damn it. But, well, whatever. Those belts have to be spent. Collides with other object. So. There we go. Yeah, well, since you guys were asking how I was feeling, the very first half of the day was worse than the second half, health-wise. I had a splitting headache when I got out of bed, but, well, it's actually quite okay by now. Ooh, okay, that's a no-no. I cannot do this. Can't do this. The titanium deposit is totally blocked by that. Didn't notice what I did there. That's why I said it's almost enough of a distance to justify a logistics station, you know. Migraine? No. That kind of headache that you get when you have a heavy cold or something like that. Also have pretty much back pain. Kiddo is Kiddo's finest, you know. But we're lasting through it. So, these things are now going to be on local demand, because we're going to slurp in these materials from the local periphery into this fine tower. And then, let's see. Yeah, whatever. Let's add in as the last product here, titanium, because, you know, it's around the corner, it's necessary, and then I have filled the interplanetary station well. So, let's see. I bet that before this is over, I'll have to reposition Teslas again. Oh man, this is a very, very ungrateful patch. So, okay, let's redo this. There's some really funky positions on these ores. So, are you kidding me? Okay. It's probably by far the most eccentric patch of ore that I've ever mined in this game. So... it's a pleasure to mine this patch, not... well... yeah. 5 mining machines. There we go. There we go. Whatever. I don't care. Doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, we just cap it at 12, and there we go. Oh. Connect those mining machines one by one. The main grid. And that's what we're going to work with. So here I am going to go for a bit of a more compactified build, I think. So I highly doubt that I'll be able to bring 12 in a row here, but we're just going to make it like that then. Okay. There goes. That should work. Wonderful. So we're really getting somewhere here. Okay. So I think I don't want to go deeper on this planet, because that's literally all I wanted from this place. I wanted some iron, I wanted some magnets. Still want to know if these guys are able to use their warpers like that. Like I said before, if somebody knows whether or not I'm using them wrong, let me know, please, because I haven't done that yet. I always meant to check out how this works in detail, but then I didn't. So let's make sure that I have all the necessary materials that I need. I do have a decent supply of copper still. We happen to have a nice amount of magnets, but let's grab more of these. Well, usually I don't suffer too much from back pain unless I lift too heavy or so. So I always know that when I have that sort of back pain, it's clearly that I am ill. Alright. Let's see. So I have enough for around 50 Teslas in my pocket. I really want to go crazy here a little bit more because, you know, it's I'm going to be stuck with what I have there. Be stuck with what I have there. So let's see. I mean, there will be an easy way to test out my thing there. Thank you, Math Gamer. I appreciate it. You're always so generous, and I know I really, really appreciate your gesture. So, we're going to go deeper there. I don't think that there's more required. I have enough Teslas for the time being. I have wired up everything accordingly. I really have no clue whether or not this is working like that. I have slammed in the warpers via a container into the thingy here. There is no display for the amount of warp fuel that I got. Good night, Ash. See you soon, mate. But it shows here 10 warpers, and I cannot really say if it will work, if the carrier drones will now consume that stuff, or if I was meant to insert the fuel somehow else. No clue. We have to get back to Murga though, because I think one of my research areas has run out of material again. It's either a backup in the oil production again, or some ore ran out. So, oh wait, we're also supposed to bring that stuff somehow home, hey? I think that would be really useless if I'd be not packing that into the tower now. Okay, there we go. So the first intergalactic supply of materials has been established. Just a meager one, but we're getting things started here. Oh yeah, I meant to slam in here a crap ton of logistics drones for later use. Okay, so let's head on over to the other system here, or the other planet I was so interested in. That's this wonderful world with organic crystals and spiniform stalagmite crystals. We definitely want to set up a production or a mining ops on these before we go back to Murga. Because if you ask me, Murga's research is dead from this point on, which sucks because I'd love to go deeper, but my entire research was well, very, very scrubbio, but it's okay for me. So, quick flight over to the other planet. I really love how fast I've become. It's really cool compared to my initial problems. It's very, very comfy. So, slam. Sophisticated slam. Okay, a Savannah planet. Cool. Cool looking place. I love the variety of planets in this game. So, let's see. We got a organic crystal vein. One of them here. Let's see. Ah, well, whatever. Let's see behind that. We're just going to start cracking here. Holy crap, that's a pretty big deposit, isn't it? So, well, there's just one thing that I didn't pay attention to now, and that's the thing with the power. I need to set up some power production before I can do anything here. Silly old me. And wind turbines, let's just say they are always a bit of a chore to set up. Because there's just a lot of them necessary to get your game going, you know. But that's okay. Very happy to have a world where there's spiniform crystal as a material available. So that's going to ease up a lot of our pain in the future. We can produce we can produce carbon nanotubes out of that stuff directly, without any way in between. I mean, it is a limited good. We only rock like 1.8 million of these crystals there, so I don't have an unlimited resource of them. But on the other hand, you know, that's ready to serve carbon nanotube, which is a pretty big pain in the rear to manufacture, because you not only have to well, okay, it's just a slight amount of titanium, but you have to pre-produce graphene, and pre-producing graphene is, well, yeah, requires sulfuric acid and coal. At the point where I'm at now, this ain't much of a biggie anymore, because, you know, now we have sulfuric acid as a ready-made commodity. But, you know, it's only a very, very recent development. So here goes the wind park. I could have expanded that by just slapping down foundation and eliminating the oceans, but I did like this looks of that. You know, following these little ravines here looks a lot nicer than just slapping down this. But on the other hand, it's just a filthy amount of 20 megawatt of power, so it's almost nothing. That's what I said with wind power is quite a chore. So much of it. But the good news of this planet here is it has oil going for us, so... Alright, oil. That's a extra source of power to rely on, and that's a very, very good thing. So I'm leaving out blank spots now, wind park-wise, to make sure the oil doesn't get bothered later by wild wind turbines. This planet, though, will have not as much power as the other one. So let's keep our enterprise here limited. Give me a sec. I meant I heard something, but there was nothing. Okay, so there's one of the organic crystal deposits. That's brilliant. We're going to use that in a minute. Yeah, well, it's the amount of power you get out of these suckers is pretty low, I know. But you know, on the other hand, it's an easy to carry power source. I think this will be probably the very last time that I will rely on wind power at this scale, but well, I haven't had a proper scaled production of solar panels yet. Like, I do have a decent amount of them going, but not in a sufficient amount to solar belt 2 planets in a row with it. No, not yet. Getting there. Pretty soon, TM, but not yet, so... We still have to go for an embarrassing wind park like that. Ain't that horrible. It ain't that horrible, but you end up plastering a huge amount of the planet for very, very low returns, comparatively. But I got to stress this out. These don't care about where they stand on the planet. These don't need sun. These are always effective no matter where you plop them down. And compared to solar power, these are quite a couple of advantages, you know. With solar power, you always have to do the entire belt. or it's just going to be very, very uneven in terms of power availability, which sucks outright, you know? That's a big downside about solar. But on the other hand, the moment you have the capacities to churn out solar panels in a amount that you can always plot them down like you need to, that doesn't matter anymore. I mean, sooner or later we're going to get our power out of the Dyson sphere, for sure. But you know, not there yet. And the planets on this system, as far as I understood things, will always have to produce their power locally. You know, the system where I'm going to build the Dyson sphere at will have unlimited power available for all its enterprises, but not this one. So let's check it out. I got 62 megawatt. That's enough to support some logistics and everything else. So let's see. We got ourselves one deposit of organic crystals. So yet again, I want to think about where the shipment will sit at. So here I have the organic crystals twice. Where's the spiniform stuff? Where's the spiniform? OBP Super Gamer, hey there. I'm happy to see you, man. Yeah, you actually you're actually quite lucky, because I don't stream regularly at these times of the day, sadly. I always try to, but the last couple of weeks I wasn't feeling too well, so I had to recuperate in the evening hours. Here's the spiniform stuff. Planets all over the place. There's literally no good spot to go for the Intergalactic transport station. Very ungrateful. Very, very ungrateful. So might as well start here. So we're definitely going to put up a planetary transport station on these. But let's start with the mining project. I mean, the real good news about this is there's no further refining necessary. We're just going to carve these suckers out and ship them back home, where we're happy that we don't have to prefab them anymore, you know. That's just a very, very awesome piece of news for the home system. So that also means that I don't need to connect any smelters, which is very, very handy. You know, I'm very used to connect every mining machine with a column of smelters at this point. So, organic crystal, hey! I know, they are awesome. And hard to get, and yada yada yada. So let's see. Tell you what, we're going to be spending here, you know, big spender. I have so many of these machines. I'm just going to give every mining outpost here its own frickin' supply of machines. Maybe not 50 drones. That's over the top. But I'm generous, but not that generous, okay? 20 of you guys are way more than we need. There we go. Let's just connect that still with power, and we're good to get to the next outpost. So this will, this entirety of, or this entire episode today will be the preparation of us growing into the interstellar stage for real, you know. Oh, I need more foundation on that side, because once I'm done with all that stuff, the next thing I'm going to set up on the home system is the production of green science cubes, and once that's set up and running, warp fuel will be no issue anymore. So And then it's just about gathering the necessary material and start crafting that Dyson sphere. I already got plans. So obviously this wasn't enough foundation here. So yeah, also not my favorite form to deep deposit, but whatever. So let's go for this, that. So there we go. How far away is the other tower? Very far away, so thanks, but no thanks. Yeah. So... That's one downside of having no solar belt, though. You don't have the ability to run towards the equator wherever you are building on the planet to grab yourself power. That's one feature I miss whenever I don't have a solar belt online, because you really grow used to that, you know, run to that behavior, to run to the center of the planet to get yourself your materials you need, your power. Sorry. Sometimes talking and doing my thing ain't that easy. So here we go, more organic crystals. And yet again, let's go for 20 drones, and I feel like I'm totally overdoing it here. Am I really that close to beginning construction of Big Sunball to do? No. I wish. The thing is, I still have to set up a monstrous amount of infrastructure. So to give you a picture. So first off, we'll have to build a lot of Dyson sphere components. These suckers are a nightmare. 3 processors. These are already a problem, but I solved that problem. I have a decent processor production. 3 solar sails. Every solar sail is made out of 1 piece of graphene and 1 photon combiner made out of prisms and circuit boards. It's okay, but the sum of parts, you know? You need 3 sails to just set up 1 piece of Dyson sphere component, and you need 3 pieces of frame material, which are made of carbon nanotube and refined titanium. You know, it's just 3 products necessary, but the amount of refined stuff that you need to compress into just 1 Dyson sphere component is insane. So we're really far away. I'll need to rack up a serious backbone of material production before I will be able to launch anything towards the sun. And then, we're not done there yet, no. Then we need the launching silo production, which is composed out of another crap ton of hard to acquire materials. And to top it off, we need small carrier rockets, which need nothing else than finest deuterium fuel to get launched, and a little bit of component stuff. It's, well, the thing about this game is, it looks... It has this, this... How to put it? Often you always think you are closer to the goal than you actually are. Yeah, that's how I would put it. Like, it's so easy to underestimate that. Yeah, now I just need that launching silo and those rockets, and then you begin to realize how hard it is to pack up the parts of these rockets, and you begin to realize how ill-prepared you were. At least that was my... I'm just talking about myself, but I consider I saw a lot of gamers that had the same issues like I did. But this time I feel like I'm quite well prepared, And I have learned a lot out of that. Ooh, look at those. They looking funky. Cool. I like the visuals of this game, seriously. There's a lot of stuff to ogle at. Is it looking cool? Yeah. Okay, let's mine them. Let's crunch this beautiful deposit and turn it into something even more beautiful. I'm okay with that. So this stuff can be directly transformed into carbon nanotube, like I said a couple of minutes ago, which is amazing. I love these materials, which allow you to skip more finicky and ungrateful production steps. So, is it really happening? Are we really going to need that many machines? I think so. Well, whatever. So, let's see. The logistics will live here. I'm slapping up the interplanetary or the intergalactic or interstellar logistics, it's called, because we're going to be shipping the stuff out here. So. Well, not gonna lie, this game is slowly beating Factorio in terms of my favorite factory game. If it would be as moddable as Factorio, it would be a real tough competitor. Okay, so where's my closest power connection at? On the other side of the planet, I guess? Great! Not. Yeah. Yep. That's just as it is. Yuck. I hate it. That's where I'd say the solar power definitely wins versus the wind power. Well, I get PTSD when you just say the word trains. But jokes aside, I feel like I'm very close to setting up a satisfying way of dealing with the train situation in Factorio. When I was so stressed out the last time, I also didn't respect the fact that I was growing more and more ill, and that's not the best situation to try to understand complicated systems. And also, well, yeah, I learned a lot. I'm going to summarize that in the next Factorio video, though. So here we're just running all over the place to wire up to the wind park. I mean, the good news about that, once you've done that a couple of times, you can always aim towards that Titanic landline that you have built, where you can always grab some power from, but it ain't no fun. I really prefer to do it differently, but hey, look at that! There's the last organic crystal deposit that I was looking for. So, well, been good for something. So, Spiniform, Crystal, achievement unlocked. Wonderful. Well, let's connect it there. While I'm here, let's just set up the next mining ops. You know. Holy, these are huge deposits, man. It's like seriously hard to get the job done just with 4 mining machines sometimes. Often on my home planet here, I catch these. On the home planet, I often was able to cover the entire patch with just 3 machines. So huge difference here in terms of density. Okay. So here we now have a nice supply of a couple of million organic crystals for our enterprise. Let's connect that real quick with a planetary logistics station again. Organic crystals supply. 20 drones. And power it up. And this poor guy has to be wired up, of course, as well. Alright, so here goes. Let's see, 1.8 million, or that's 2 million, plus 1.1 million makes 3.1 million, plus 1.5 million makes... yeah. If there is another deposit here on the planet that's very, very tiny, or it doesn't exist because I didn't calculate properly. I think the latter is the case. So let's just follow our massive line of power towers. By the way, this planet has some decent silicon deposits, doesn't it? Yep. Pretty cool. So that's going to be the other material that I'm going to export on this world for sure. So here, one thing crossed my mind. Well, how? I could be refining the spiniform crystals directly here on the planet into carbon nanotubes and just ship out carbon nanotubes. I'm not sure if I want to do that though. It would be, I think, smarter to refine it on site here, but I really don't want to set up the stuff for that. We're going to refine it back at our home system. And let's cram in the necessary amount of these. And now organic crystals, local demand, and now you see it's coming towards us. And I think before I'll leave, I'll wire up some extra iron here. So, there we go. Or do I? Nah, I won't. I want to go back home and fix my science problem here. Okay, so the next thing, I really don't know if I'm doing it right or not. Oh yeah, minimum load of drones is supposed to be 100%. And, so, here again, if an experienced Dyson Sphere program player can help me out here. I really don't know if I am using the warpers correctly. Because I didn't see any other way of filling in the warp fuel into the tower except for slamming it in like that. I really don't know if it works like that, but we'll find out. I'll just put the spiniform crystals on demand at Marga, and if it works, it'll be transported over. If it doesn't work, it won't be transported over. End of the story. There's not more to it. So I could now set up more mining ops and whatnot, but I won't. We're going to fly back home and repair the science. So let's set sail. Merca, indicator. And let's fly away. Bye-bye, dronesies. You guys better work as if I was here, even if I'm not here. So let's fully speed up, but I learned out of my last mistakes. So let's see. So I could now put in put in warp mode, but I won't, because I want to wait until my battery is filled up again. The last time, I just slammed up the warp, and my battery was not lasting for that entire jump, so... This time I'm smarter. This time I'm going to wait until I have enough juice to make the jump. And here you notice that my battery refill capacity or battery refill speed is really not satisfying here. It really sucks to sit here and twiddle your thumbs and wait until you can finally do a warp jump because your battery ain't refilled yet. And the worst thing here is there is not much better fuel at my disposal right now. The Deuteron fuel rods are pretty good fuel, by all means. There's 1.8 gigajoule in each rod there. It's just the tech that I'm lacking, you know? What I'd be needing would be a higher energy circuit tech, which I'm researching right now, which is frozen right now. So, sucks a bit, but whatever. Here, this is the entire issue, that my fuel is just not getting pumped quickly enough into the battery. You could technically travel to another system on Sublight, yeah. I don't think you should, but you could. So, let's see. I'll be waiting this time diligently until my battery is really fully stacked up again, because it was a pretty shitty experience the last time to be stuck on low battery. Let's see how much battery will be left after the jump to Merca. That's what I want to know. I think there is even an achievement in this game to do a travel between two star systems without warp. I mean, this game is filled with useless achievements, all waiting to waste your time. But if you enjoy the time wasted, it wasn't a waste of time. So, battery's full. Let's jump. So here we have to last through 20 seconds of constant battery drain. And it really shows that it's been better that I waited. So I think full battery will be just enough to have some juice left to navigate on Merca. So let's see. Alright, you're actually really supposed to navigate that yourself, otherwise you'll be okay. So I want to hit here. Alright. I have the feeling as if I would have flown past the system if I wouldn't have stopped my warp there. Still gotta get used to these. Alright, the other thing that I also need to set up next is deuterium collecting on the gas giant next door. The friendly gas giant next door will be providing fuel for our enterprises. The home system, welcome back. So, what do we have no supply of anymore? Blue ones, I thought so. So, we ran out of copper. Surprise, surprise. Alright. It's not a surprise at all. So, well. Alright, let's fix it. Let's get rid of that first. See? Sadly, I do. I can only say, sadly, I do. So here I'm going to slap down an interstellar logistics station to make sure all the necessary resources required will be always available for this grid here. So we'll be requiring magnets, iron ingots, and copper ingots. I'm going to set the stored amounts to a very, very civil amount. Let's just say 500. Let's not overdo it. And we're going to go for a meager amount of 20 drones. I don't think we're going to require more than that. So we are counting on the local demand and the remote demand. This is going to be gimme, gimme, gimme. That's what this thing will mostly good for. So we do not require this anymore, because we're now directly outputting copper ingots. So let's set it up accordingly. Here we go. And now let's just do the same thing for the iron plates. Here. And, well, the magnets. How to connect the magnets. Yeah, well, alright. Let's do this like that. A little bit more complicated, but whatever. I'm willing to give these a little bit of an extra treatment because it's a very antiquated system. But this way, we'll now have an endless supply of resource for the tiny lab, you know. It's the smallest lab in the world. Good. Fixed. So let's get on over to the next thing. So I want to produce proliferator at this point, merely because or mainly because we right now see so many materials available that are limited. Talking about those spiniform crystals. And I don't want to see them wasted, so we're going to use the materials we got to set up some proliferator. Let's see. Do I have an untapped coal depot here anywhere? That would be useful here. Let's see. I better don't. I mean, hey, Joke Y Gaming, welcome. Happy to see you, mate. Well, we've been... You missed out the Intergalactic business. I've just left my my new factory at the other planet, so to say. But beyond that, it's all cool. Having some good time here tonight, and wow. So, looks like I really did my job quite well there. The coal deposits look all like there's mining machines on top of all of them. Well, look at me, being all efficient and stuff. So, I meant to look for a... Yeah, alright, then not. Whatever, it's okay. I mean, I'm not bothered by that. Quite the contrary. So, we're going to set up a small-scale proliferation production now. Because, you know, I'm no big fan of that proliferate everything policy of some people, but I do think that there is a lot of benefit in proliferating some things. So we're going to set on up here. Oh man, there's oil seeps everywhere. I'm looking for some place where there's no oil seep in the whatever. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to set up a small facility that'll provide us with what we need. So first off, wait a sec. That stuff's made out of raw coal. No, I don't have any raw coal anymore. Well, that's not entirely true. But oh my god. So I know where I can't help myself, but that's one thing I completely disregarded there. So we shouldn't be processing it all. So let's hop on back to the starter base, because I know that there is a spot where I still have access to raw coal. If I'm able to find my starter base, that is. Seriously. So, well, this place has grown. Here, that's what I've been looking for. So, the remaining raw coal will be imported from other worlds. No biggie. Good thing that I realized that. So first things first, we're going to rip out the old infrastructure there. And next thing, let's rebuild that. Okay. And here goes. So let's connect that to a planetary logistics station. Because, you know, we're no small timers anymore. And here goes. Good. I haven't thought about that. Always good to notice that you have left out a blank spot somewhere. That's useful. Well, keep in mind that you can connect everything with logistics stations, and all you need to bring up is power, machines, and logistics, and then you can connect everything. Glad to hear that you're already on cracking up the third planet. Sounds like a great journey so far. So let's get on back to that lonesome tower that I built somewhere and forgot about where. Damn it. Yeah, this one. The one that's out of power. Brilliant. Alright, there we go. So we're importing coal, local demand, gimme. We're also importing energetic graphite, because, you know, reasons. And let's limit those amounts a little bit. And we're also going to export proliferator. And are you guys telling me that the science production is at a halt again? Oh, jeez. Can't a man just build a proliferator plant in peace without you guys running out of material every now and then? I bet it's a blockade in the hydrogen system somewhere, because I know that I have a weak spot in there somewhere. So we're not going to produce Mark II proliferator. We're going to stop with we're not going to produce Mark III proliferator. We're going to stop with Mark II proliferator, because the Mark III stuff, while being already available to me, this stuff does require carbon nanotubes, and I'm not willing to go down that deep in my investment. Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff automation-wise to look forward to. The only well-meant piece of advice there is always plan big ahead. So there's no such thing as too much material or anything like that. Always leave up room to make things even bigger if necessary, you know. It's really something that that I have made more or less to my mantra in this game. because it really helps you to never get stuck. Yeah. So here, I'm just going to produce the proliferator. Whoa. That's not the distance from the belt that I wanted to go for. That's more like it. So, Mark 1 proliferator goes in. Let's see, how much Mark 1 proliferator do we need for Mark 2 proliferator? So we're producing a total of 2 of these per second, and here we're requiring 2 of these per second, so the process goes 1 for 1. Diamonds, what about diamonds? We will require 2 diamonds per second. That makes up 4 smelters, got it. So that stuff is made out of 1 diamond. So proliferator, basically coal with coal with coal. And spliced in a little bit of coal, just to make things more appealing. Sparkly coal, raw coal, super condensed coal. You coal it. I'm done with the lazy jokes now, okay? But call me if you find any other ones that I missed. Okay, now we're... There we go. So that's the diamonds we need. That's the proliferator we need. And let's just wire that up together here, like that. And we good old. So let's get rid of a little bit of that graphene. So it doesn't cram my pockets so hard. And now we're going to set that stuff back home. Send that stuff back home, I should rather say. And let's do this like that. Very, very small scale production. There's really, well, that's not going to be enough for larger enterprises, but it's a start. Well, can only say it's really worth leaving space open. You don't need to build as compact as possible. But I also like to say that the wonderful thing about factory games is that every one of us gets to decide for themselves how you're going to play your factory, and I love that. Okay, so we got the proliferator down, and let's just say, yeah, whatever, we're going to use this one. So now, remote demand, does it work or doesn't it work? It doesn't work. So for whatever reason there is, we are not able to fly on over there. There's another thing that I wanted to try out. So, cannot give that stuff. Put in only logistics vessel. So, I cannot imagine that I have to put in a own amount of these. So, alright, there is 14 of these suckers in there, though. Clear and reset. So, they took it. But, well... Well, I'm going to check on out a internet guide or anything like that. Just don't find the slot where you're supposed to put these things in. So, but I mean, that's properly configured. The only question now is why doesn't it get ordered by the at the other half of the galaxy? Vessels take warp drives after you get a certain upgrade. So you mean I might have not the tech yet? Now that's an interesting proposal. Maybe you're right about that. So unlocks logistics vessel warp. I thank you. Yeah. All right. So okay. I thank you. Now I got it. It's because I don't have the tech yet. So, alright. Brilliant. Thank you. Then let's fix the tech. And then we're, well, it's already on queue, so it'll get done sooner or later. Rather later than sooner. I think I really want to stock up on science production next, you know. I've been okay with the speed of my science production most of the time, but it starts to wear down. So, where the hell is my lab in the first place? This looks like no. That's starter base. Crap. So, that's always not a good sign for me when I don't find myself around anyway. Here we are. So, yeah, just like I thought. There's still graphite, but we're out of hydrogen. Of course we are. That's because here, tanks are grim-filled, aren't they? Yes, they are. Of course. So, it's the same old, same old. There's just too much of that stuff going around there. But, whatever. It doesn't really matter. We're getting there. I do need to set up new logistics and a lot of other things next. So, I think the next episode we're going to fiddle around with orbital collectors. That's the next big thing that I want to mess around with. But not today. I'm too tired for that. And, I really want to take a little bit of a break before I go for next big things. And why isn't... Are you kidding me? That thing didn't get saved? I know that I built that sucker. So... I was so sure that I saved that. Alright, whatever. Let's not ponder further. It's been fixed. I don't know. We were running on 75% of the capacity here the whole time. So... Do you need about the gas miners if they need the, if they produce their power themselves, or how I am supposed to power them? They want 30 megawatt, but I don't know how the hell I'm supposed to produce, power on a gas giant. That's the thing I was wondering about. They make their own fuel, alright. I was actually anticipating that, but it's good to know that preemptively. Alrighty guys, so next episode, deuterium and whatnot production. Looking forward to that. We're also going to be automating the mass production of the gas collectors. Good stuff up ahead. So everybody, I thank you. It's the end of today's stream. I hope you enjoyed. Leave me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, or leave me a subscription if you haven't done so already. If you turn on the bell thing, you get notifications about the upcoming streams. If you don't want to do that, check out Twitter, check out Discord. There I announce all the streams before they happen. Another thing, there's a playlist link in the description box if you want to check out the rest of the episodes. Everything there. And last but not least, there's Patreon, PayPal, and Buy Me a Coffee if you want to support me directly. I'd be deeply appreciating. Have a wonderful day, everybody, and see you on the next one.